Hi, everybody. This is Gary Dean with Sentiment Timing, and this is our technical video report for Monday, January 19th, 2026. Hope you guys are enjoying the day off, and let's get started. There's something that just doesn't feel right about this market right now, and what I mean by that is this is the second day in a row where this one was a pretty large gap higher open, and we came down and closed it the same day. We closed it yesterday, then on Friday. But on Friday we had a gap up and it closed it as well. So when you're seeing the market gap up like this and they're closing the gap that same day or the day after, like we've been seeing, it's kind of telling us that there's something internal that's not really right with the market. And then you add on to that the fact that we're seeing this massive rotation out of tech and the spiders into the small caps. It's the engine's not running like it should is probably the best way to put it, because typically when we see one index going up and making new all-time highs, the other indexes follow it when it's in a strong market. But we're not seeing that right now, and we actually traded IWM really well on Friday, but it's just, it's not going to be able to continue like this, meaning that you're not going to see the S&P red and IWM green every day. I think that rotation is coming close to an end. But right now, there's just money flying into the small caps. So we had the S&P that closed down 25 points on Friday, and it was down a lot more than that after the open, where you can see this. We tried to gap up to these highs here. It reversed right after the market opened, and we went straight down from there. And we recovered some of it here, but you can see the highs were at 69.70, and we came down and made a low at 69.25. So 65 points is a pretty big reversal there, and we ended up closing down 25. But then when we take a look at the small caps, you can see they closed up 25 cents. So the fact that we got this gap up and really we went up and then we came down, held these lows right here, and then made new all-time highs again. And they didn't give away all of the gains. And again, this type of move is it's not sustainable. And we saw the same thing happen going back in November, where the small caps just went pretty much straight up, made new all-time highs, and then went from 258 all the way down to 246 in a matter of days, and we bounced up and made another high, made another low. But then from there, it's a parabolic move up. And again, we have divergences, and like I said, the fact that we're seeing weakness in the other indexes and the small caps are ignoring it. They really only ignore it for a certain amount of time, and then everybody jumps out of it. So I don't expect this one to be different. I know we had some news over the weekend with tariffs being put on some European countries over Greenland, and that has sent the futures down pretty hard. The S&P, the ES is down 60, and we have RTI that's down 27. So we probably are going to have a not so strong open unless something changes between now and tomorrow. Maybe Trump backs out on that. But in any case, what if the weakness does continue? We're going to be opening up below these lows here. And if we're just looking at some fib retracements, we'll probably be thinking that the S&P is going to come all the way down to the 69.05 level. And that's where they're going to have to make a decision on whether they're going to find support here and head back up, or if it with the next avenue that we could look at is that this was an A, this is a B, and this is where wave C would be, and that's 68.79. It would be below these lows, and it actually would not be that unhealthy, especially if they do find support there. And if we take a look, you can see that we still have this open gap at the 68.60 level. So this is probably where I believe we're going to be heading, is going to come down and close this gap, especially if the futures continue the weakness in overnight trading. So this would be my area. If they don't hold it there, then we'd be looking at a move coming down to the 68.25. Again, it's nothing that I'd be looking at as very worrisome. You just don't want to be chasing when we're seeing these kind of gap moves to the upside, and you wait for a pullback and you buy it. So again, if this is our A down here and this is a B, we're probably looking at a gap closure right there. Now, we don't have any bearish divergences, so that's where we have to leave the door open, saying that we're going to come down and then come back up again, because then we'll set up some sell signals on the 15-minute charts. But if we look at the 60-minute charts, we do have sell signals. So it's really not worth trying to guess what's going to happen. Either we're going to come down, find support somewhere in this area here, or they're going to brush off this the news, and then from there we're going to find support and then head back up. And again, if this is an ABC move, we're looking at a target coming all the way up at the 70.50. But as I said, the geopolitical news is not really bull friendly right now, so I'd rather see us come down and test these lows and find support. Give momentum a little bit time to burn off a little bit, and then from there look for different individual stocks to start buying on it. So again, on the upside, if the bulls can take out these highs, then we're coming up to the 70.50. If the bears can take out these lows, then I'm anticipating that we're going to come down to the 68.60. So taking a look at IWM, this is a bearish wolf wave. It's a wedge. And really what this is pointing at is a move that would bring the IWM all the way back down to the 242 level. So we've seen these kind of moves before, where they break out of the wedge here, and from there, this gets all the bears to cover, all the bulls to jump in, and it's a trap where we're looking at a move coming down to the 243 level. And looking from just a regular, say, Elliott wave, this is probably the fifth wave, so I wouldn't be surprised to see the small caps come under some selling pressure this week. And if it's not this week, it's going to be next week, because we have the sell signals. It's a parabolic move higher, and it's going to have to do some retracing. So I'm going to continue to look on the short side with that. Now, the fund, we had a great day on Friday, up 30, almost 31.50, and that was really because we had our with the quantum stocks that did really well. So TSSI was up almost 8%. We have RGTI that was up 4%, and RGTIW up 3%. So we had a really, really decent day on Friday. And again, a lot of that was trading IWM, because we were taking both sides of it. But what was happening was we were closing the long trades at the highs and then adding to the short trade, and then when we came down here, we were just simply covering the shorts. So we had a good day. Like I said, up 31.50. Quantum stocks did good, but I'm definitely leaning a little bit more towards shorting IWM come tomorrow. So let's see what plays out to overnight trading, and I will talk to you guys in